The 2025 edition of Sibos has been very carefully built around a considered theme, the next frontiers of global finance. And that said, we're better to start our final program than here with some rising talent. Now, throughout the week, we've been featuring scholars on the Sibos Talent Accelerator Route, known as the STAR program. It offers an unrivaled learning experience that empowers participants building their knowledge, skills, and confidence to thrive as future leaders in the financial industry. And for one last look at this year's stars, we're now joined by two more of them, and that's Priya Gupta, Head of Technology Financing and Securities Services at Standard Chartered Bank, and Charlene Lee, Director Cross-Border Payments Transformation at Scotiabank. Welcome to the both of you here right at the end of Sibos 2025. I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as we have here. Priya, I'm going to start with you. Sibos is, of course, drawing to a close after 4 packed days. But talk me through some of the highlights of the sessions that you most enjoyed.
So it's been incredible 4 days, right? And if you have to, for me, the biggest highlight was just witnessing the sheer investment and intent from Swift and all the industry players on bringing everybody together. Right. There was definitely a flow of energy in terms of collaboration, how we all come together, figuring it out, how we solve it, whether it comes on how we can work better together, and more importantly, ultimately, how we grow together as an ecosystem. So the collaboration was super inspiring for me. And if I have to specifically talk about sessions, I think every session was unique in its own way. But if I have to really pick a few of them, I'll pick 2. One is the STAR program itself. It was a beautifully curated program. I don't think I've seen any other where 40 women across 18 countries come together, sharing their ambitions, their challenge, and sharing their plans on how do they shape it. So I definitely thoroughly enjoyed that conversation. And I think second, less of a session, but more of a theme that I enjoyed, that I'm a technologist, and I thoroughly enjoyed seeing the journey of technology being a back office functions to be at the heart and center of financial industry. So I thoroughly enjoyed conversation around stablecoins, AI, how the fintechs are collaborating with the legacy infrastructure. So it was lovely. Yeah, it was very inspiring and rewarding at the same time.
Charlene, the same question to you. There's been an enormous range of sessions across the week. What has been your takeaway?
I think Priya has highlighted a lot of very, very good points. I think if I were to look at all of the themes, the theme to me is that the financial services industry, payments, is continuing to evolve and change. The level of transformation over the past number of years and into the future is not going to stop. And so what does that really mean, right? It means for us as individuals, we need to continue to stay curious, ask questions, to learn about all of the topics up and coming. I don't know how there can possibly be one expert on it all, but when you think about the themes of, stablecoin, quantum, real-time AI, everything, that all was underpinning a number of sessions. The other piece about collaboration, I think, will continue to be paramount for us to collectively come together to solve problems, to come up with new innovative solutions, and really ultimately be client first in how we enhance the global financial community. And so with that, it's also about how do we come together to deliver that pragmatic value, right? Like everything that we do should be delivering some type of end customer experience. And I think in terms of all of the topics that were covered throughout these past 4 days, there are a number of nuggets that I think ultimately, if we continue to collaborate, if we continue to partner, it paves the way for a very exciting future of payments coming up. So, yeah.
Speaking of exciting futures, Priya, you're attending Sibos this year as a STAR scholar, but can you tell us how the opportunities provided by the program will help you professionally?
So I definitely feel it'll be hugely impactful in not just my professional journey, but in fact for all the 40 women who attended it. And if I have to state the reason, I think 2 key takeaways that I had. One was actually, it helped me give a sense of validation. I always believe that, your work doesn't speak for yourself. Work is important, but work literally doesn't speak, right? So you have to advocate for yourself, share your perspective, ask for what you need. I think being here last 4 days, hearing from the leaders, and seeing all that in action definitely reinforced that for me. And I'm sure it gave confidence to all of us that we are doing something right and in the right direction. I think the second key takeaway for me was really experiencing the power of networking. Often people just misinterpret networking as being part of the formal events and dinners. I felt a lot more here, and especially, being seen, sharing your ideas, being part of the conversation, both contributing and listening, it does open a lot of opportunities. So I very strongly feel being a part of a forum like this could be a very strong, powerful professional tool in your journey.
And Charlene, what's your take on the STAR program in particular? What has it brought to you as a high potential person in our industry?
I'm going to reinforce the comment about human connection. At the end of the day, I think, our collective success is really anchored on the relationships that we build throughout our career journey, personal journey, right? Because these are the individuals that will ultimately help you through a number of different circumstances. So specific to the STAR program, there were a number of sessions that really resonated with me. First and foremost, about the concept of psychological safety. It's a concept we've all heard before, but it's so difficult to put into practice, especially if through our own life experiences, we've been taught to be like a girl, whatever that means, right? And so I think this really gives us an opportunity to redefine that and rethink that going forward. And so as we look ahead again into the future, I mentioned earlier about the pace of change, the number of innovations coming across the ecosystem, and the type of leadership that will be required, that modern leader. It's really about, again, that curiosity, asking questions, surrounding yourself with a network of peers, how you learn from each other and your experiences, and even if it's someone to go to as a sounding board. I don't think in any other program I would have met 40 other individuals across the globe, right, that I wouldn't have interacted with on a day-to-day basis. And so for me, taking away, I think it's how to surround yourself with individuals that are smarter than you. We may not know all the questions up front, and that's okay as well, right? As more and more innovation comes down the line, more curveballs are thrown at you. I think it's more of that soft skill we've been equipped with that will allow us to succeed in the future and continue to grow.
Yeah.
We've heard a lot about the importance of psychological safety this week from our STAR scholars, which has been so important to discuss. And Priya, I wondered, what role has raising your hand, stepping forward even when you feel a little uncertain, played in your own personal growth and success?
So for me, raising your hand was just not about volunteering, right? It's basically signaling intent. Right? I am here to contribute, I'm here to grow, and I'm here to make an impact. I think this mindset has definitely been very crucial throughout my journey. And I completely understand, right? Every time you take a new role, it feels overwhelming. And it has been very overwhelming at times for me. But I very strongly believe, and that has been instilled in me by the leaders that I've seen, that taking the first step towards the challenge is the first step towards the growth. So be bold, take that tough opportunity. And I very, very strongly believe sometimes we just don't know you are far more powerful than what you think in your mind.
Very well said. And Charlene, looking back at your own career journey, what pivotal moments have shaped your path, and how can women in payments create their own opportunities for growth?
I would say there's probably a number of pivotal moments that have reshaped my career journey. If I were to anchor really on two, early in my career, I was in the commercial banking space in mid-market, hyper-focused on credit underwriting analysis. And if I were to have charted my career back then, it would have been, how do I move from senior debt secured lending to credit risk analysis to asset-based lending? But an opportunity came up to shift into projects. And I would say that's probably the first pivot out of a client-facing role to understand more broadly how initiatives are shaped and executed. And what really that segued me to was into the payments space. So payments, I only entered about 4 some odd years ago. Similarly, an initiative came up that asked for additional change leadership and training strategy. And when I had come into the payment space at that time, I didn't even know what an MT-103 is for everyone across the SWIFT network. And so really what I think changed me there was to figure out, how do I quickly ramp up, learn, and grow in this very highly technical and complex space, to be able to understand what is the change that I need to deliver and what is ultimately the training. And how I approached that, first and foremost, was to find those individuals within my organization who were already payments experts across the ecosystem, and in particular women in payments, to be that support network to help me find what are the resources I should tap into so I can learn how I can shape and continue my journey there. And so leading into advice, I think it's be comfortable with always being uncomfortable. I think, I talked earlier about the pace of change, how there continues to be new innovation, technology coming through the grapevine at the end of the day. And so be okay to not know everything. Resiliency was another significant theme throughout the week, and more than just technology resiliency, but also human resiliency. And so for me, I think how you chart your own path. Sometimes people will ask you to jump into opportunities that you're not comfortable in, but sometimes you also need to seek that new learning opportunity and be okay not to know everything diving in. And so I think that would be my key takeaway.
Wonderful piece of advice. Well, thank you so much, guys, for joining us here right at the end of Sibos 2025. What better way to head into Thursday night with a couple of stars? So do make the most of the remaining, I guess, hour or two left. It's really nothing left.
Counting down.
It seems like you guys have really taken away so much from it this week. So congratulations to the both of you.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
Priya
you.
Gupta, Head of Technology Financing and Securities Services at Standard Chartered Bank, and Charlene Lee, Director, Cross-Border Payments Transformation at Scotiabank.
Thank you.